I met Prodigy one time. We were doing a session with Ashanti, and I want to say that I don't know if this was before Ashanti even had a deal, and I think maybe Mobb Deep was interested in signing her or whatever. But I remember showing up to Ashanti's session, and Prodigy was there. I mean, I was a huge Mobb Deep fan. If you listen to my first album, I had an album called Esoteric, and I produced majority of that record. And you can listen to like the beats I did on the record. You can tell I was heavily influenced by technically that second album. We always call it the first album, but it was technically that second album, The Infamous. And, you know, I'm one who really tries to champion a lot of the awareness of a lot of illnesses. My wife has multiple sclerosis. She's doing very well with it, but we try to champion that. We do benefits for American Cancer Society. So I've always, from afar, I've never really done anything for like sickle cell, but I've always liked the fact that he was very open about the fact that, you know, it was one of the first things you heard, that his brother had sickle cell. So, you know, it hurt. The news really hurt because he's by far one of my favorite rappers. And you know, I'm a fan of greatness. And to me, you know, Shook Ones is not only one of the greatest hip hop songs of all time, that first verse is by far one of the greatest rhymes that has ever been spit, period. You know, it's just, he was just on fire. And I mean, he was that way through the whole album, really, but that song in itself really set them apart, you know. But I appreciate that we had him for 42 years, and he been able to give us a lot of great music, and it was so fortunate, man, the brother passed, you know. I'll share, you know, my funny story to share with Phife. You know, the funny thing is, I through the years, I've got a chance to meet Q-Tip and get to know him pretty well, get the chance to meet Ali Shah and get to know him pretty well. I never really had a chance to really meet Phife and get to know him well. But the story I'll tell you with Phife was, I was at Howard, and I had like an 8 o'clock class. It was I remember the class, what it was ear training and sightseeing. It was like how you know, I would have to look at sheet music and I had to be able to sing it straight out without, like, you know, just looking at the scales or whatever. And the class was crazy, but it was real early class. And, you know, I think I want to say the class might have been like a 7 o'clock class. I would get out at 8 o'clock and the campus be wide open, empty, nobody would be there. And this is my freshman or sophomore year, Low End Theory's on fire. And I'm leaving class by myself and I'm rhyming butter. You know, I'm full out, like, just excited. You know, I'm about to go get some breakfast. 1992, and I open up the fine arts doors and I'm rhyming, and lo and behold, standing to my right is Phife, just by himself on Howard's campus at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like rhyming butter, looking at him. He's looking at me like startled. And I'm so caught off guard, I just kind of rhymed, kept rhyming, just slowly made a little U-turn in my little embarrassing moment. And I just walked back into the fine arts. And I was just like, oh my God, I was so embarrassed. I couldn't even go back out like, yo, I'm a huge fan or whatever. But you know, Jerobi practically went to Howard. Like, y'all know, he was dating a girl that, like, literally Tribe Called Quest was always on campus. After that, I would see them all the time. But it's funny, every time I would see Phife at a random party in Atlanta, whatever, he would kind of look at me like, kind of remember you, and I'm like, I hope you don't remember me, you know what I mean? But, you know, to me, he was the perfect balance of Tribe Called Quest and another person who dealt with, you know, a really tough disease, and it's something that we also need to be very aware. He was very open about it, but diabetes is something that we gotta stay on top of. I mean, with all these things, whether it's diabetes, sickle cell anemia, multiple sclerosis, you know, cancer, any of that stuff, you know, just the awareness of it, the fact that if something doesn't feel right, get it checked out immediately. Whether, you know, and unfortunately, Black people, our arm might go numb, or, you know, I'm gonna have blurry vision, or, you know, something happens, you feel a little stiff, and we just think that I just kind of shake it off and deal with it later. And it's like, no, if you went and went and got that checked out, probably the day that it started happening, you might be able to, you know, save your life or have a more comfortable time going forward, man. So the fact that we lost, you know, 2 superior rappers in a year span, really, unfortunately, due to, you know, the cause of tough diseases, man, it's pretty tough. But hopefully, because they were very open about what they had, hopefully it kind of helps others to seek some help, you know, and try to stay healthy. So when I saw the Tribe documentary, I wasn't surprised at all by anything. It was nothing I didn't know already, but didn't mean it didn't hurt. Like, I didn't enjoy that documentary at all. Like, it hurt to watch it. You know, it hurt to watch, because at the end of the day, man, like, not only am I a fan of the music, but, you know, I'm a fan of the people. I'm a fan of the friendship. And I'm sure there was a reason why they first got together. There's a reason why all those those four guys got together, and it's because of a beautiful friendship, and they shared an enjoyment making music. And sadly, somehow it didn't become enjoyable anymore, you know, and for whatever reason. But that documentary was tough, man. I mean, I could have been fine not watching it, to be honest with you. But I'm a huge Trae fan, so I watched it. You know, it's like watching a train wreck. As a fan of watching certain records, but also being a part of like watching records being made, when you look at the level of like a Low End Theory and then followed by Midnight Marauders, like these are two records that are almost perfect. They're like literally perfect. You know, lyrically, sonically, all aspects of them. Those records are dangerous, man. Like to really commit to making a record like that could almost kill you. It could kill friendships, kill relationships, kill marriages. You look at why the Beatles, for how short-lived they were, but when they really understood it and started really putting out like Sgt. Pepper's album and stuff like that, it's like there was no way that Lennon and McCartney could really stay in a room together. It was like that's just destroying everything, you know, just because really it takes such a level of tunnel vision and commitment to the art that you're like literally saying F everything else, like F friendships, F food, F, you know, whatever, F the business partners that I'm in here doing and stuff with. So that's the dangerous part that I think as fans we don't really take a look at when you see an album is being made. Sometimes how detrimental that record could be, how musically beautiful it is, but it's what did it take to make that record, you know? And a lot of times it's destroying people to make it.